No VIP sleeves. Drink that Kool-Aid, follow my lead. Now you're one of us, you're coming with me. It's time to kill the lights and shut the DJ down. This place about to tonight, we're taking over. No one's getting out. This place about to
That can cook, and we're going to categorize this on the knife skills. Okay, well, I wanted to talk to you about some knives, and I wanted to show you how to sharpen a knife on a stone. Okay, so we're going to go to the cutting board. I have a couple of knives, two specifically I want to talk to you about, and I have a stone, and I'm going to sharpen a knife, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so come on with me. Okay, we're here at the cutting board, and I want to show you how to sharpen a knife. This is a stone, and it has a rough side here and a smoother side here. And you're also going to need a steel. Okay, this is going to take the edge off the knife after you sharpen it, off of the side of the knives. Okay, because you don't want to burr on one side. So let me show you. Okay, you see this here? These are my everyday knives. I have my Sunday go-to-dinner knives in a toolbox put away. They're all Wistoffs and Hinkles. And all my friends who know me know that I have these knives. I'm not pulling your leg. But these are just my everyday knives at home. Okay, you need a stone, and you need some mineral oil. Okay, not a lot of mineral oil. If you don't have mineral oil, you could use olive oil. You could use vegetable oil. You could use any oil you have. Okay, so let's get to this here. What you're going to do is you're just going to put a little bit of oil. First off, you want to do is put a damp rag down on your board so this doesn't move. Okay, and then we're just going to put a tiny bit of oil, maybe a teaspoon's worth, on the stone. Okay. And then you see this knife? This knife is like 15 years old. Still going strong for me. Okay? Now what you do on the rough side, you take the knife, you hold your hand here for pressure, and you run the blade on less than a 45-degree angle across from tip to end. From tip to end, like so. Okay, I'm doing this slow. Okay, this is how you do it. From tip to end. From tip to end. Okay, and you do this on this side about 15 times. So I would say we're at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now you go to the other side and you do the same thing on the other side. Put your fingers on the back end for pressure and apply pressure and come down. Come down on it and go across and go across. Okay? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay? Now if you touch that, you could feel there's a little burr on the side. It feels sharp, but it's a little burr. But now what you want to do is you want to go to the smoother side. And you want to put a little bit of oil on that. You rub it in to your stone. And then you do the same thing. You start here on the side and you go from tip to end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not going to keep counting. 10, 11. You can do this to 15. Okay? And now we're going to do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you get the idea? And you just use this pressure. Put your fingers on this thing. Be careful you don't slip and cut yourself. Okay? Okay? So that's 15. Now I'm feeling this and it's feeling sharp, but it's a burr on there. So now what you want to do is you want to take your steel and you run your steel down. You run your blade down on the steel, both sides, like so. Right? And that takes the burr off and gives you a sharp blade, okay? Now you see, watch this. Boom, boom. Look how sharp that is. Okay? Beautifully sharp. Look how very sharp, very, very, very sharp. Now you gotta be careful you don't cut yourself with this. Okay? So that's how you sharpen a knife. Now I want to talk to you about a couple of knives. Okay? Now you've seen me in other shows. I'm going to put this in the sink, this stone. Let me just clean my knife off. You've seen me in the other shows where I basically do a lot of my cutting with this knife. This is a boning knife, and believe me when I tell you this knife is 15 years old also. It fits my hand perfectly. Knives, you want them to fit your hand. It's good to go to a cutlery shop if you're going to buy a good knife to fit your hand. And you know what, for household use, you do not need a top-of-the-line knife. You know, a middle-of-the-road knife would be excellent for home use. So this is a boning knife, and this is a boning knife, and this is a boning knife. Now this one is curved, and this is to, when you're boning, to get around things, to cut around and come up around bones, okay? These are basically for straighter cuts and more for fillets. And if you would believe this or not, this blade was the same size as this blade. This is this thin from all the sharpening that's been done to this knife in the past. Okay? Now, these are boning knives. Okay? This is what's categorized as boning knives. Okay? Now, this here, this is a slicing knife. This is for slicing meat. Okay? But they also have a kind of like a serrated knife that's used for slicing meat also. And this one is offset. For some reason, I like this one, even though it's a less expensive knife, I like this one better than this one, but it's all according to your feel and how it feels in your hand and how it works for you. Okay, so I want to show you those two knives. And now, these are the knives I really wanted to show you. I have this knife here, it's called a Santoku. And I believe in Japanese that means three things. And the three things mean with this knife means it's for chopping, dicing, and mincing. Okay, and if you look at the way this knife is shaped, it's shaped so you can't cut yourself as easily with this knife or stick yourself with this knife. And what I like about this knife also, you see these little ridges? When you're chopping or cutting, it allows air to go through so nothing sticks to the knife. You ever chopping carrots or something, it sticks to your knife, and it's a pain in the neck when you're going fast. Okay, but this is a beautiful knife. This knife really is a great chopper, and it's a great dicer. It's a beautiful knife, and it's an 8-inch blade. Okay, now this is the knife that I'm very, very mostly impressed with, that I really, really like. It's a YOSHI. This is a YOSHI blade. Okay, this is a ceramic blade, and it is as sharp as a razor. Never, ever, ever needs sharpening. If you buy a knife like this is like a $40 knife. if you buy a knife like this and it goes dull, the guarantee is that they will replace it. Okay, and I just want to show you, this knife is super, super sharp. But what's most impressive about a ceramic blade or a plastic blade with a knife, did you ever have lettuce and you're cutting lettuce and the lettuce browns, right? That's from the metal. When you use a knife like this, it does not have that oxidation that will allow the vegetables, the lettuces to turn brown. So I use this strictly for vegetables. But people use this for slicing, they use it for chopping, they use it for so many things. But I use this strictly for lettuce and raw vegetables that I'm going to be using to make salads and stuff. Okay, so I just wanted to show you these knives, give you a little insight on this. I hope you learned how to sharpen a knife. And stay tuned, okay? Because there's more to come with Dad Can Cook. Thank you.
That's all I do. If you need a bad bitch, let me call up yo. I'm someone and I'm living many services out. I see some good girls, I'ma turn them out. Okay, bottle, sip, bottle, guzzle. I'm a bad bitch, no muzzle. Hey? Bottle, sip, bottle, guzzle. I'm a bad bitch, no muzzle. Makes me